Hello guys, this is Maverick Shooters and welcome to my coverage of finals of the $200 Teraless tournament, of which $150 goes to the winner and $50 goes to the second place, the loser of this finals. So regardless of winning or losing, I had $50 logged in, though obviously I'm going to try to aim for the $150, and seeing that I let my $500 tournament finals slide away, I wasn't going to let this slide away too. My opponent is Akali, who is a very good player as well. He qualified for OLT in Cycle 1 itself and has peaked number 1 in the ladder before too. So overall a super strong player. This is gonna be a BO3 SVOU format with, as the tournament's name suggests, Terra is banned and stuff like Reggie Ilecki, Espathra and Volcarona allowed. This tour was mainly done to see how a tier would be with Terra banned and if it is better than a tier with Terra. I'll share my thoughts on this meta at the end of this video, so stick around for that and to see who wins this tournament. And let's get into the games. So for this to not go for an hour long or something, I'm gonna have to try to get through these games a bit more quickly. So I'll try to still cover the important turns, but it won't be as in depth like in my previous tournament finals game. And with that said, let's get into the team composition. So for team composition, when I was scouting, I realized that all this guy runs is balance. Literally no other playstyle. He will use semi-stall, stall as you can see in front of you, but majorly just balance. And for me, I just used Echo the entire tournament till here. So I pretty much expected stall or a semi-stall or a very fat balance in my first game, and hence I cooked with a modest Iron Valiant with Expert Belt. Its moveset is Side Shock, Moonblast, Thunderbolt, Knockoff. It's mainly meant to break through fat stuff and predict. Then I also have Sub DD Excalibur with Icicle Crash and Earthquake. I have Psychic plus Toxic, Slack Off, Chilly Reception, Gloking. Not your usual Future Sight one. I realized that in his normal balances, a Psychic plus Toxic, Gloking with Slack Off like basically 6-0s an entire team. So I went with that. Then I went with Tinglu, an offensive set of Earthquake, Stone Edge, Ruination and Stealth Rock. Then I have Cinderace for hazard control because I realized on his balance, he usually runs full boots and he tries to hazard stack the opponent. So I won't let him do that. And then I have Zapdos as a general Fizzduff Mon and spreading around para. Okay, so to start off, I lead with Gloking. It's very risk free and I can just do anything with it. I started Sashok and revealed it immediately. Then I had Chilly Reception the next turn. Oh yeah, I thought he would switch out, but him recovering makes sense too. I probably should have Sashoked again and just kept this Clodzile low, so that's bad on me. I go into Cinderace, I just U-turn out, back into Slowking, predicting the Toxic. And I'll just Psyshock or Chilly Reception out again. Okay, Chilly Reception out. Then I go into Iron Valiant. He probably thinks I'm Scarf because no one runs Expert Belt Modest. Anyways, I click Knock here. It's free against Stall. Knock is always giving me value. Now I reveal my Modest Thunderbolt with Expert Belt, which always kills this. And it lets me get the Covenant off early. Then he goes into Clodzile, probably doesn't know that what set I have. I Psyshock, destroy that too. He goes into Blissey. He takes 28. Then I click Knock Off the next turn because Blissey can't do anything much to me. He goes into Mola, probably trying to wish everything up. But he can't do anything about it because I can Thunderbolt the next turn, which I do. He goes into Blissey, I knock again, get its boosts off. Then he Salt Balls. So now my goal is, I'll set my Rocks up with Tinglu, which I do right now, and try to run through its Soft Boil. Once Blissey is dead, my Iron Valiant will 6-0 his entire team. Anyways, over here, I know Cyclosa will come in and try to Rapid Spin, so I go into Cinderace. He'll get into Knocks off, but I try to Wisp it. Then I Code Change to get rid of the spikes. He Draco Meteors. I probably should have gone into my Gloking, but I wanted to keep its boots. So it's a good safety insurance because Gloking is very good in itself. If its Regenerator Mons is down, I can try to just win with Gloking, spamming Toxic and Sashok. But anyways, I go into Zapdos, he gets boots off on that. That's not a good play by me. Anyways, I reveal U-turn because during prep, I realized that he runs Tinglu like every single game or Landorus. And I don't want to give up my momentum that easily. And Iron Valiant is a good momentum on like against Tinglu. I try to U-turn with Zapdos on Tinglu. I go into Iron Valiant, I Moonblast. And yeah, that's what I predicted. That's why I went U-turn, which worked out great because he has Clodzire. So I can try to continuously momentum on him. Over here I am in Blaze, so I click Paraball, which is Blaze boosted. He gets a Toxic off, but that's fine. I can try to keep Claude weakened, so I don't have to worry about it anymore. He goes into Mola, I go into Iron Valiant again. It's a free knock for me. Clouds are something has to die. I click Thunderbolt, which is the correct play. I obviously should Thunderbolt there. If he switches out, I can kill whatever comes in next turn. He won't go into Blissey ever because Psyshock 2 hit KO'd if he went into that. Anyways, he goes into Blissey now. His Softball is down to 6 PP. I go into Backscalibur, reveal boots on that to force him to go into Dondozo. I double to Iron Valiant and I predict Psyshock with Blissey. I probably should have Thunderbolted here. But anyways, me being the Giga Chad I am, I click Psyshock again on Dondozo and get the Blissey. But unfortunately, I don't get the roll here. Very unfortunate, but it is what it is. I go back into Backscalibur and then I click Icicle Crash here again, I think. Yeah, I don't double because I thought he would switch out. So here he goes into Dondozo. I think I Toxic. Yeah, I Toxic. In case he's straight in or Dondozo, he goes Cyclizer. Good thing. He wanted to try for regen. He gets the Rapid Spin off. I get Psyshock damage. So Cyclizer doesn't get as much regen because he'll try to U-turn out. Yep, he does. I'm kind of shocked he didn't knock off, but it kind of makes sense because if he did, it probably died. Yeah, it died. Okay, so the U-turn made sense. He goes Dondozo, gets Toxic. He couldn't go into his Cyclizer because Psyshock 2 had KO'd. So he had to stay in with Dondozo, take the Toxic and rest it off. Anyways, I go into my Tinglu, get it knocked off, but I get my Rocks back up because Rocks is very important to chip the Blissey down for Iron Valiant to sweep and to pressure Blissey overall. Anyways, he goes into Dondozo. I think I Chilly out here. He'll rest to get the Toxic off. Yeah, I Toxic again in case he goes into like Alamola or something to get regen. I don't really have to switch out, but I'll Chilly here. Yup, I'm probably going to Zapdos. Yeah. Now Zapdos is completely free to U-turn. He can't stay in with Dondozo. And I discharged, thinking he might predict it, try to like overpredict or go into Cyclizer. Anyways, I can always freely U-turn out, so there's no risk for me. It's only rewards. So whenever I go into Zapdos, I can discharge spam, I can U-turn spam, I can do whatever with Zapdos right now. I'm boost plus ice body, so it basically works as leftovers, and I don't even take hazard damage, so works perfectly. As I said, I'm Icicle Crash sub DD, so all I have to do is just spam Earthquake, go into Zapdos and do stuff, and just waste turns because Zapdos will get value itself. Over here, this was a miserable play by me. I shouldn't have gotten this Zapdos knocked off. I should have never ever done that, but in the flow of the moment, I let it get knocked off. Didn't think of it much, but it was a miserable play. Zapdos is already in a position to auto win, so I shouldn't do that. Anyways, I catch his Blissey coming in with a U-turn, and I click Earthquake. His Blissey protects. He Icicle Crashes. Over here, I stay in against Dondozo. He is at 2-turn sleep. Okay, so here he can rest, and he knows that. So I can go into my Zapdos and I can get a free discharge off. Now his Blissey will be at 27 after rocks, so it will get 2-hit cured by discharge, and he knows that too. So he has to get a recover off on Blissey somehow because he's already in range of Psyshock as well. So like whenever my Iron Valiant comes in again, probably like on a sleeping Dondozo, I can force it with Thunderbolt and Blissey can never come in again because Psyshock will kill it. So he has to go into Blissey at some point to recover on a double. And this is a perfect chance to double. He's at 2 turns. So him resting here is extremely obvious. And hence I should go into my Zapdos. But I predict him going into his Blissey and I stay in with Backs and Earthquake. And that's game right there because once his Blissey is gone, Iron Man will just sweep. So will Zapdos. And that's game. So let's go into the next game now. Okay, so my game 1 plan worked out perfectly nicely. My plan was just to force him out of his comfort zone from using his usual balance, force him a bit into an offense team, and hence I loaded HO myself. Because if he doesn't load super fat or balance, this HO has very good potential to win. It has a lot of good mons like Backscalibur, Iron Valiant, Balborn Greninja, which is extremely broken in Teraless format, and Iron Moth as well, which can just sweep if it gets going. And as I predicted, he goes a bit more offensive than his usual balance. As you can see, this has Sneasler, this has Zamazenta, and the thing was, I realized when we go into the games, so let's start with the games. I'll explain what happens. Okay, so on turn 1 here, I probably think this is the fake out pad set, but it turns out to be Scarf. Now once I see that, I'm in extreme disarray because I didn't expect it to be Scarf, and Scarf Sneezer completely destroys my HO. The only way I can deal with Scarf Sneezer is I Terra on it on some turn and I kill it, but even then I have to deal with Diaglo hacks. Anyways, I get my spike off. I predict Great Tusk. I'm wanting to switch out, so I get the spike up again. I knock off Moltres, but I don't have rocks, so knocking off didn't really make much sense. Over here, I Glaive Rust instead of SDing, because if the Moltres is low, I can go into Enamorous and claim one every time. Yeah. Over here, I predict the spin. It's the most obvious thing there is. I go into Enamorous. I live an Ice Spinner. Even if it doesn't go for it, I click my Moonblast, and Goldengo is a bit chipped. Looking at the damage, it's most obviously Scarf. It didn't take Balloon, and nothing else really makes sense. This could be Specs as well, but I just think it would be Scarf. Overall, I'm just trying to be in a position where I don't lose to Sneasler, and this right here is already a bad start. My Iron Moth is already parried at 30% and Rocks is up. So Iron Moth is basically useless, and Iron Moth was my best check to Sneasler. Now as you can see, I get a Moonblast off, I get Great Tusk dead, but now Goldengo comes in, it forces a kill, so I have to go into Iron Moth, sack it off. And my last bet left is for my Greninja to get Balbond here. Here he goes into Sneasler, and then I Water Shuriken and get all crits or something. But unfortunately, I missed my Hydro Pump. I can't do anything about that. I'm running it for a reason. It misses, I know that, and I have to deal with it. But now that my Hydro Pump missed, I took 28% more than I needed to, and hence I'll die much sooner. Over here he gets spikes off. If I would have hit my pump earlier, I could have gotten 2 kills at least, or I would have forced Tinglu to Earthquake me instead of getting a spike up, which would have made a difference. Anyways, I go into backs, I try to Ice Shard, he goes into a Sneasler, Scarf Sneasler, Diaclaws, and I have 2 fairies remaining. Both of them die to Diaclaw, and that's game. So overall, my plan worked in forcing him into something bit more offensive, but backfired because he loaded Scarf Sneasler into HO. The only thing that could possibly faster is Greninja, but I didn't really get any position to chip Tinglu, and if Tinglu isn't chipped, as you guys saw, at +1 Life Orb Hydro Pump does like 75%, it never kills Tinglu, and hence I can never break through, because everything else underspeeds Sneasler and can just Diaclaw and CC. And events, game 2, so let's go into game 3. Okay, we are back, this is game 3. This decides the entire series, and let me tell you, this is the greatest game ever. So let's see how the game went. Overall, he loads Sneasler, Tinglu, Zamazenta, basically same team. He just changes Moltres with Pex, so it turns into slightly more defensive again because his previous thing worked. Over here, I predict him going into balance because he won his previous set, so he'll probably want to go into his most comfortable playstyle for his final game, and hence I load Modest, Expert Belt, Hoopa with Nasty Plot. This worked out perfectly too, because Modest, Nasty Plot, Expert Belt, Hoopa completely destroys everything. The reason I'm Modest, Expert Belt is specifically for the Stinglu. Or Grass Knot with Expert Belt, 2-hit KO Stinglu, or a +2 Grass Knot Oko Stinglu, and it also baits Specs, which will come into effect as you guys will see later. Anyways, for lead, I do Landorus. It's pretty brainless. It can live basically anything. Over here, my brain kind of malfunctioned and I clicked U-turn. He has no flying types. I don't know why I didn't click Earthquake, because I have like a Hatterene and like an Air Balloon Goldengo or whatever for Great Tusk, even if we went into that. Anyways, I missed it. But in the previous turn, he goes into his Tinglu. I Grass Knot, I do 58. From that, he kind of thinks that I'm Specs. I'm kind of just going through the turns fast, so I'll go back. Oh yeah. So I do 58. He probably thinks this is Specs, hence goes into Goldengo. I click Grass Knot again because I don't want to deal with Tinglu getting hazards up. Over here, he goes into Goldengo. So over here, I'm thinking if he's Scarf, he doesn't really make sense to stay in because it's faster than almost everything on my team. And it's a good mon overall too, because if he thinks it's Specs, it's useful to play against Psychic and Grass Knot, and hence I'm thinking if he stays in with Goldengo, only reason he will stay in is to trick, because once Hoopa is tricked, yes it helps me, but it doesn't help me at the same time. because he can try to like pivot around Hoopa and try to make it a set of fodder as well. Like imagine him going into Tinglu, forcing me into a grass knot or something. Then again going to Sneasler and force U-turn or something. Anyways, I don't know what I was thinking. The major thing I was just thinking was him tricking, and I didn't want to get tricked on that. And I saw that Samazenta, Great Sneasler, triple fighting. King Gambit is gonna do absolute zero shit. So I just figured that there's no meaning on King Gambit here, so I let it get tricked. So I go into my King Gambit. He predicts that like a very good player he is, and gets the focus blast kill. I was kind of bummed about it, but I didn't really care because King Gambit wasn't really doing anything anyways. Over here, I am Air Balloon, and I reveal Dazzling Gleam. As I said, he runs a lot of Tinglu, so hence I was running Air Balloon plus Dazzling Gleam, Nasty Plot. It was basically just to break Tinglu as well. As you guys have seen, my Game 1 and Game 3 teams are extremely C-team to balance because he has used balance literally everywhere. He's like a balance main, so hence I did the C-team. Anyways, I sacked my Landers to Shadow Ball from Scarf Goldengo. Oops, sorry for that. And then I Dark Pulse. Over here, extremely huge thing. He probably didn't calc. He just thought this was Specs damage, seeing the 49. And he knew this was Specs from Tinglu. So he probably just predicted that I'll just Dark Pulse again because I'm Specs and Toxapex can't do anything. But over here, I revealed that I was modest, expert belt. He probably should have calculated Dark Pulse damage and a psychic get rid of the Zamazenta. This is extremely huge because now I don't have to deal with Zamazenta Terra stealing or something and beating Hatterene or Terra Darking and beating Goldengo. Over here his Greatest comes in. I don't really have a flying type anymore because my Landers is dead and my Air Balloon of Goldengo is gone too, so I have to sack something. I realize Sneasler is the most useless here because he has specs at full. Even if I status it, doesn't really help me with anything. My Goldengo walls pecs anyways and my Hoopa beats pecs anyways. So I sack my Sneasler. I go into Hoopa. I honestly thought I would be faster because he generally runs like a balancey type thing. So I would probably predict it like to be defensive and hence I go into Hoopa. If I thought it was offensive, I would have gone into my Hatterene and clicked Draining Kiss. But anyways, I predicted this was defensive and hence I go into my Hoopa, which was running max speed, and I click Psychic. He reveals to be fast, offensive Great Tusk, or like max HP, max speed, 0 attack. He clicks Earthquake, does 26, does 74 to me. I'm at 26, but my Hoopa is still alive. This actually was a big thing because his Scarf Goldengo cleans everything with Shadow Ball now. But as soon when my Hoopa was at full, his Goldengo could never sweep because if he kills something, I go into Hoopa and I claim something back. Anyways, I'm in a losing position against Scarf Goldengo. Over here, I'll pop a screenshot out or whatever. But over here, I say RIP GG. I probably thought that this is lost already because everything just drops to Scarf Goldengo now. Then as soon as I said RIP GG, I thought my Hatterene is at full, it's max HP and generally has good SPDF. So immediately I start calculating, can I live a Shadow Ball? And I see that Scarf Goldengo can never kill a Hatterene at full. So I was sinister game plan and you guys will see it soon. So I go into my Goldengo, which is super defensive, which will just wall Sneasler even at like 20%. He U-turns out, he gets a Shadow Ball off, and I go into my Hatterene. Now what can truly happen here? You know, I have a Hoopa which is at 26. I have a Hatterene which doesn't die to Shadow Ball, but what can he do? My Hoopa isn't Scarfed as I've already revealed. It's Expert Belt. His Sneasler will always outspeed me. Even if I kill this with a Mystical Fire, I crit or something. He goes into a Sneasler, he Diaclaws, he U-turns, it's game. There's literally nothing which can win this. Unless on this team which has a Sneasler, a Goldengo, a King Gambit, a Landers, a Hoopa, a set which doesn't really make sense at all, I reveal on the Shadow Ball Trick Room. Who will ever expect Trick Room on this team? Obviously a team built by me, so I have to put some heat set. As Sashok predicting a Toxapex or a Sneasler wanting to come in to waste a turn on Mystical Fire or something, he stays in, which makes sense. Now it's the biggest thing ever. 3 turns of Trick Room, 3 mons left. Hoopa can kill everything, but it has to predict every turn. Against Goldengo, I click Psychic predicting Sneasler. Sneasler gone. He goes into his specs. Now, once again a 50-50, which decides who wins, who loses. 2 turns of Trick Room, I have to get this right. If I get this wrong, I lose. Do I Dark Pulse, predicting Golden Go, or do I Psychic, killing the specs off? What do you guys think I did? He clicks Recover, doesn't really make sense if he surfs or whatever. I click Psychic and he's done! Then I go into Golden Go and it's over. I won this series with a super giga chat Trick Room into triple predicts with Hoopa, and I win the $150. Hope you guys liked this video. I know I brambled a bit here and there, but whatever, I was just hyped. And for my thoughts on the Teraless meta, I'll pop up my Smogon post right now. I put a bit of a small para, I'll just read it out for you guys. Overall, it was definitely a nice new change of pace and different way to play SV, but I'ma be real. Teraless is nothing close to Terra meta. Teraless is a very bad compared to Terra meta, and overall I'm a Terra lover as well. Half the time game gets decided on MU at start, and once the million offensive mons and sweeper get going, there's no stop to it. A lot of good mons like say Toxapex, say Garganacl or whatever, we know need Terra more than the offensive mons like Excalibur, Enamorous or like Hoopa or like all these offensive mons. They don't need Terra. With Terra, they can make good use of their offensive profile or make them a bit more defensive, but they don't need it. Defensive mons like Garganacl need Terra to be good, and hence make this just a HO/offense fest, and Tinglu gets super annoying because it's there's nothing to beat it. So like you just have to chip it down so it just gets hazards off to max and just whirlwinds you out anyways. So super annoying. And playing stall or balance is very tough in this meta, because offense is just that good. Stall or balance cannot keep up with offense, as you guys saw in the games. Reloaded, balance, stall all got destroyed. HO or offense is strictly better in this meta with no argument on them being close to the same to other playstyles. And yeah, overall this was a fun tour, and I wasn't even playing it much seriously till I realized I'm in top 8 and I started building for this meta, which was a thing I forgot to mention. I was just using my OU teams or whatever and directly loading them into here. I didn't even change things like I was running Sandy Shocks with Terra Blast even though Terra is banned till top 8, and only after top 8 I built the teams and stuff. I started building for this meta. Akali, you are an amazing battler and played amazingly too. Wish to fight you more in the future. Obviously you played amazing, bro, if you're watching here. And I had to take my revenge. I had to take revenge for my boy Exotic 64. We're on the final soon, which I'm doing right now. Revenge on Exotic 64 because my buddy Exotic 64 was in semi-finals and Akali beat him. So I got my revenge. Anyways, hope you guys liked the video. Like and subscribe. See you guys later.